This is November 23rd, a beautiful sunny day in Northern Virginia, and as the sign says, we're at Amtrak's AutoTrain facility in Lorton, Virginia. This is just located right adjacent to Interstate 95, and this is the entrance to the facility. This particular location is about 15 miles south of Washington, D.C., as located alongside a former Richmond-Fredericksburg-Potomac main line to Richmond, and from there on to Florida. The two Genesis engines are standard power for this train, and probably just adequate power. This is a very heavy and long train, biggest in the Amtrak fleet. It's approximately 3 o'clock, an hour and a half before departure. This is looking south on the R&P, double track, high-speed main line to Richmond. And the Genesis units here along the platform. We'll take a walk down and get a better look at the train.
I gather you folks are passengers, right?
No, I'm actually a CSX engineer, and I'm just
I'm gonna have to see some ID, gentlemen.
So, hold on a second.
It's just the reason for that is that
We'll show the driver again. There's the Superlighter Lounge.
Sure.
Lounge. We get a lounge car booth.
Why, of course. What are we, barbarians?
They won't let you go and look inside them.
Come on, Cliff.
Oh, they don't look like they're boarding yet. It's like, what's... To the left here, we see the concourse and waiting area. This is a fairly new facility, just in the past year or two, replacing another waiting room that was on the same location.
Very nice.
And continuing, looking at the looking over the train here. Give a walk the whole length of the train first.
Okay. I'll just
Get on your...
reload.
Only time it's really sick. Did Florida on Monday. Came back on Thursday to Florida again, and it's like, okay, in 2 days.
This has always been the largest train in Amtrak's fleet. There are very few trains that would rate this many superliners. The train is not as long as it used to be when it was single level equipment because the superliners have much higher capacity. Nonetheless, always an impressive lineup. Looks like somebody actually washes the windows down here. Apparently so, because so far we've seen diner, a lounge, and now we're looking at some coaches. And we'll get a look farther up here at the automobile loading. But we do see our first sleeper here in South Carolina. Appropriate for that. Looking at the loading process. We'll watch a car being loaded on, perhaps. There we see a continuing on.
Not this one, but the next one. That's it. Running a little step there.
Follow along here. I see the trip planner is going. Virginia.
Is that nice?
And continuing on, that was the sleeping car of Virginia. Very appropriate.
Wonderful.
That's Paul Harbour.
So you want to be the last sleeper, right? So I guess you got the. Oh no, you can't. There's cars behind you.
Oh,
This is another dining car.
it's all. Superliner diners, of course, have the seating upstairs with the kitchen downstairs. These are all modeled after the former Santa Fe El Capitan high-level style cars from the 50s. Was the basic pattern for this. The food being brought up by dumbwaiter to the upstairs, so this car has an unusually high seating capacity for a diner. The only service area in the upstairs is just a small dumbwaiter, as the main kitchen is downstairs. As we continue our stroll along here, Over the years, the AutoTrain has gone through a few different ideas as far as food service. For one spell, they attempted to use more of a buffet cafe style service, a cost-cutting move in which the passengers would sort of use tray meals, and that proved unpopular, was dropped in favor of the traditional sit-down lounges. Now, of course, the sleeping car passengers have a separate lounge and sleeper away from the coach passengers. It is usually at least one glass roof lounge for the sleeper passengers, and I've yet to see that today. Perhaps it's farther on down. One of these sightseer lounges is usually reserved just for the first class passengers. Here is one named for former Amtrak and Southern Railway president, W. Grand Plater Jr., one of the all-time greats in railroad. And here's our friendly attendant. Well, not ours.
How you doing?
Any words of wisdom for the video camera?
Yeah, welcome aboard.
I wish I were. I came down to see this thing because
You just came down to see it, you're not traveling with us?
not today.
He
No,
will-
he works for CSX, and
He will now that he's seen it. They just converted him over.
When we go to Florida, we usually fly.
Okay. Then I'll take care of that real quick.
It's pretty impressive.
Yep. Hello, man.
Well, let's continue the tour to the end. Thank you.
You're welcome.
How big are the big ones?
I don't know.
Oh, we're going. Well, I guess we're getting in an impromptu.
These come together like this, and then you have the upper berth that comes in.
Okay.
And in the deluxe bedroom, we can go upstairs real quick if you want to go up the steps. Either left or right.
I'll let you lead, sir.
A big
This is
twin.
wonderful.
Comes into a big twin here. Has its own bathroom and a shower. And that berth comes down with the
This is for two people.
2, 4 people.
This is wonderful.
Yeah.
If you
And
had
this-
something like this,
this
would you put
berth
two
can-
little kids with you too? or
Sure.
not?
You want to pack them in there, you can.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about little kids, you know.
Well, come on downstairs, I'll show you what else we got.
This is wonderful.
Well, look how high up you are.
Yeah, you are.
I mean, you get a good view just from being a little attendant thing. Back
For our
downstairs.
family, we have our family room. This comes out to be a big room. This comes down, and these convert into 2 beds.
So you can put 2 adults, 2 kids.
Yeah.
This is great.
Huh?
Sold. Right?
And then on the other end, we have another set of berths. Just shut this door when you come in.
Oh, we're coming. Come right up.
You may not get about it. Keep that up.
And a full-size shower.
You got a shower.
Full-size shower.
For those apparently that don't have one in the room, I guess.
Upstairs, the deluxe room you do, but downstairs you don't. And then you have the, for the disabled passengers, wheelchair accessibility.
So that, we were actually discussing that. Is that strictly wheelchair people only, or just they got?
They have a room and you want your handicap room. First come, first serve. They'll take the disabled passengers first.
Oh, I'm sorry, we forgot to shut this.
They'll take the disabled passengers first, and if they have any room left over, they'll sell them to anybody that wants.
Wonderful.
Is there? What do they consider disabled? If somebody has like handicap plates, is that sufficient, or can't get around well, or is it really like cerebral
Somebody
palsy?
can't walk real well. There's all kinds of reasons. I don't even ask anyone.
You're talking like Doris, where she can't walk.
Yeah, real
She got
trouble
heart
walking,
trouble.
but technically, is it
She couldn't go up those stairs. Wow.
Right, well what they do is you get the handicap room, they bring her along with the wheelchair, put her down in here, and then the attendant, whoever the attendant is, will bring her meals to her.
This is wonderful.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you very
Just
much.
sold a
Appreciate
ticket
it.
there, I can tell you that. No, I mean, well, I usually fly, and I have no idea what it
Part of the show. Part of the show.
I know, but
Oh, Massachusetts.
oh, very appropriate here. Sleeper, Massachusetts. A very nice attendant there. Give us a little tour of the inside. Very impressive. There comes a high-speed baggage cart. And we have more sleepers. Let's see, Rhode Island.
Now, does CSX do the hookups, Bruce?
No, these are all Amtrak employees. I think years ago when this first started, they were like seaboard people and stuff, but it's been their own people for a long time, their own yard here. We'll take a view at the switcher used to double the train.
What's a transition sleeper?
Transition sleeper is the piece of equipment that enables the superliners to couple and mate to a single level car in the vestibule. See, in a sense, the vestibules, this will illustrate, the vestibule on superliners is basically on the second floor. So this was coupled to a standard, say an Am coach. You could not walk from one car to another because the vestibule, one is way up in the air, the other is very low. The transition sleeper, however, at the far end will have a vestibule at a low level and a set of steps, so you basically make the transition from high to low. Of course, this car would be totally useless in the middle of the train.
I see.
Hello. And in fact, it probably doesn't really serve much purpose because there's probably no single level cars on here, so it'd best be on the end of the train anyway. These are the automobile carriers. These are all ex-Canadian National automobile characters that have been with this auto train operation since its inception. They're a little unusual that they're only a double level. They're not terribly high, rather than the typical tri-level auto racks, which are much taller, commonly used for automobiles, but these were purchased by the original AutoTrain and still very much in service.